last time on La-Mulana, we fought Amphisbaena. We found Inferno Cavern, which has a mini-boss. We found... Was last time the first time I battled the giant? Yes. We used my digital notes with a program called Obsidian, but I'm still taking handwritten notes. And we still need to find a way to drain the water in Spring in the Sky to be able to get to mirror something? The Land of the Mirrors? There's a door that I can't open in Temple of the Sun. So I kind of want to go back to Spring in the Sky? Oh, and we learned about the twins, a little bit more about the twins. Obsidian is great, but I feel I'm not good enough with it to do what I'd like yet. I am not good with it, but it is baseline easy enough for me to just get started that I'm really enjoying it. I don't know if you saw the buzz about the fan remake. A little bit, yeah. Of Castlevania 2. I did in the Discord see some of you buzzing about it. Okay, so here we are. Oh, there's another picture that I didn't write down. Open the floodgate. Okay. I don't know how. I want to go up here. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything up here. There's Owens, there's the Philosopher. There's some ladders that I can't climb. I downloaded it but haven't tried it yet. Definitely seems cool. At the moment I'm leaning towards Corsair K9 5. Most mechanical keyboards from other brands are too minimalist. Okay. I haven't looked at Corsair. I think I was... Oh, I just immediately leave the place I want to explore. I was really set on Razer at first because that's what I had before. But the more I looked at it, the more I was like, I think I can do better price-wise. And I wanted something simpler that I could switch out switches and keycaps and stuff later on if I chose to. Like my extra buttons, totally fair, yep. Oh yeah, in this room. Sacred Lake. I need to figure out. I still don't understand. What if I jump across from like here? There's not an invisible thing? I don't think that would help anyways. I would really like to figure this room out. I could read my note on it again. I'd like to try another keyboard, but Apple is holding me hostage by keeping Touch ID to itself. Right. I want to try RGB keyboard that lets me assign colors to individual keys. That would be cool. We talked about OpenRGB, which I did download the installer, but I haven't used it yet. I've been pretty happy. I messed with the RGB a little bit on this one. And I've been pretty happy with it. No, no, this room is the worst. We did a lot of this last stream too. We still have 4 bullets in the gun. And I feel like I should try those on this Cyclops enemy that shoots red lasers at us. But I don't know. It's so expensive to get more ammo. Room reminds you of Jump King. Please don't get me, please don't get me! That fish likes to beat us up. What if it only takes one shot with the gun? Okay, that definitely hurt you. It only takes 2 shots with the gun. That was a good hunch. Gaming. I was so afraid because we have so little ammo and it costs so much money to get more ammo. Now, I don't know if that's... So anyway, I started blasting. I think the red line, the sight, the laser sight, tipped me off. But maybe it's just that powerful of a weapon. Okay, I want those pigs to pop. Sorry, piggies. That almost looks like those other platforms have weight plates on them. Oh, we can add to my map now. Okay, pencil lead comes in handy. Thanks for using the Pally link. I appreciate it. You can support our mods that way if you would like. Yay, progress! So we already know this is the room of origin because we've been here before, but behind the little wall in the corner. So I guess there's not that much to write. But I can read the tablet, which I'm assuming will be important. Thanks, Llama, for the clip. When the waters of the ocean calmed... I need a new page. A new child was born. In pursuit of the sun and the moon, man and woman, life and death, a small, wingless, gillless child was born. Fascinating. When the waters of the ocean calmed, the children are so important. That's all this game is about, is children. This is spring in the sky lore. Pursuit of the sun and the moon, man and woman, life and death, a small, wingless, gillless child. Okay. Fascinating. Now what? Oh, this opened. Oh, this was open, but we couldn't get to here? No, this door opened up, and it wasn't before. A sigil! Okay, so I was wrong about those other things being sigils. Or I guess maybe it's not a sigil, it's called the seal, but it looks like the sigils in that other drawing. And I can read about it in my inventory. Sigil? Question mark? Spelunky sequel? No, it's not. Thanks for the love, kitty. No wings, no gills. Ew. I guess the art is similar to Spelunky, but that's pretty much where the similarities end. Oh, they go down here. A stone tablet with writing that describes the beginning. Lets you destroy oh, it does relate! Sorry. Things are coming together. I'm excited. Writing that describes the beginning. Cool. Corresponding wall seal. So maybe the sigil's inside the wall seal. I don't know. I'm excited. Have mods around today. I had to separate two arguing strong-headed. Oh no. That can be frustrating. Mods gotta work together. Writing that describes the beginning Mega Drive. I don't get it. Sorry. Hi, Antable. How are you? Welcome in. Okay, wait. So now the wall seal in Spring in the Sky is up here, which I was just in this room, but then I left. This is the one with this is the elevator, and then there's no staircases up there. Maybe there's staircases up there now. And we can just leave via this room if we want. Oh, this fish is gonna beat me up. No, it didn't. I got it. But these bats are probably gonna beat me up. It's fine. We were trying to jump down anyway, right? Do I want to go to the sanctuary? No. Oh yeah, and this room has this weird circle in it. Oh, I meant to jump. I swear I hit the jump button. Having some struggles today. We got a new orb too, didn't we? From that boss fight. Feel we've been hanging out in the same places the past 2 days. Nice. Learned that Spelunky has a sequel, but it's not this one. This game has nothing to do with Spelunky. They are not related. Spelunky has a sequel. It's called Spelunky 2. Unless it has another sequel. A threequel. That I'm unaware of. This, I wish I could examine this thing. I don't know how. This isn't breakable, is it? No. What about this? No. Spelunkier. Spelunky 2 came out last year. Ah, okay. Is this block for anything? I don't know. Where is my picture of the sacred lake? Does the picture of the sacred lake depict that block? Also, here's my sigil drawing, is right here. So we got that top one, I think. This is it. Oh, I might need to zoom out on the camera for the notes. It's that one. But I'm looking for my drawing of Sacred Lake. Oh, where is it? I promise I drew it. Didn't I? I thought I did. Well, it's gone now. I thought I drew it. I don't know. Oh, it's on this map. Hang on, I know where it is. It's right here. Fear not the water. Hold the answer for those who have been delivered by it. Cross the sacred lake. So I don't think that there was a block in this drawing. Okay. Spelunker is also a game. Is that related or totally different series? You seem more comfortable with this game now. I'm guessing the notes and map drawing really helped. That's like the whole game. Yeah. Really, the first day I was only uncomfortable because of it being the first day, and first days are always stressful, and the music. But I've just gotten a lot more used to it. And I think the first day I just didn't know what to expect. Jorik, have a good sleep. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Have an excellent evening to you too. That's a different... Oops. I should have used a shuriken. That's a different sigil though. That's not the one we found. I have... The bats are really getting in my way here. I have sigils marked on my maps. I need to figure out exactly which ones I have marked. And I guess I could make little drawings showing the designs of the ones I found. Is it a Metroidvania? It has Metroidvania elements. I would agree with Petrie. Yes. It has some elements. Okay, so this one looks like this, and then it has like a hook coming off of it. That's this one. And it's, I mean, they all have a circle around them. So the other ones I've found are, this is 1, 2. Should I zoom out on the map? Let me know. It's gonna be hard to read regardless. When I look at it in OBS, I always think it looks way too small, but if y'all are watching it full size, it's probably better. Used to the music, I keep forgetting it's there. I have it really quiet, but that helps me focus. Okay, so here's another one of these symbols. I found one in Temple of the Sun. But I don't think I can... No. I don't know if I can get to that one. That room is weird. So that's 1, 2, 3. I don't have one marked for Mausoleum of the Giants, so we should probably go and find where it is so I can put it on my map. And I don't have one marked for Twin Labyrinths, and I don't have a map for Endless Corridor. I probably should make a map for Endless Corridor. It's just like 3 rooms. Okay. Leave me alone, bat. And we were saving up money for the heat-proof case, which I bought. So now we're saving up money for... I don't know, I guess ammo for the gun. I wish I had made a better way to flip through my maps. Here, let's do that. I'm really close to this other room, right? Yeah. I'm gonna do a lurk and get some ice cream. Enjoy! That sounds so good. I have ice cream too. I have coffee ice cream. For after stream. Okay, this room. This one is... I don't know what this symbol is. These elephant fleas gonna beat me up while I stand here. It looks like kind of like a hook on top and almost like a backwards J, and then another hook, and then like maybe a dot. I don't know if it's attached. Kind of looks like that. Kind of, sorta. I've never tried pistachio ice cream. I'm afraid to try it. I don't think I've ever had it either, but I like pistachios. Coffee ice cream is great, not easy to get a hold of here, unfortunately. Gotcha. Okay, so it wasn't that one. Let's go to Mausoleum. Gotta move my map again. Yeah, I really could have made a better way to flip back and forth between these. No. Worms. Oh, I have to use a weight to go up here. We've got 10. That's a decent amount. Maybe today we'll find the pendant for the fairy. Maybe that's something that'll work out for us. Oh. This room has a trapdoor. But let's go up first. Peanut or almond ice cream are my favorite right now. Pistachio is good too. Oh, affogatos are so good. Ben & Jerry's has pistachio? I didn't know that. No, no. This is the top. Yeah, this is last shrine. I'm just going towards the entrance. We're trying to find if there's a wall seal. I keep calling them sigils, but it's a wall seal. Okay, this room doesn't have it. Maybe then we'll drop down. Oh, there's always spikes. I hate these worms. And I have to use another weight. I need to start writing down where the weights are so I could plan it out better. But even planning it, it's not like I can warp into this room. This doesn't have the wall seal. Where is this thing? There's a brand here that does almond with cherry ripple. Mmm. Pistachios used to be commonly dyed red to hide cosmetic blemishes. Really? Weird. Okay. So now I've searched all of these rooms. So I could go back to the save. Oh yeah. It's good. That's what I wanted. Oh my god. So trolly. I should have warped back. I said I could and I walked anyway. Okay, this room doesn't have it. So now we have to go down. I love cheese, but it does not love me. For many, I am sure. Incredibly relatable. I regret every time it's so good. Soul, you gotta take care of your gut. But yeah, cheese is so good. It's a struggle. What is this green room? Oh, the dolphins room. It wasn't in there. Let's go visit this room. It's not in here. What is this called? Star Palace. Okay. Trying to love blue cheese, but it seems like hard work. Blue cheese is great. Well, maybe an acquired taste. Not everybody loves it. Okay, this is Labyrinth entrance. Still not finding what I'm looking for. Do we think it's in the Sky Disc room? Hi Jiggly, how are you? Welcome in. It's not in here. Let me down! It's looking like it might be in this sky disc room. No. Where is this dang thing? Also, that tablet we got feels a lot like... I mean, it feels like it's referencing the sky disc. It talks about the sun and the moon, but not... Oh, we're about to see the Ankh. Ah. But not life and death and not man and woman. Where is this thing? Maybe it's in one of those blocks in the wall with the eye symbol on it. So I feel like it's either here where there's that block underneath the eyeball. This is how I draw the wall seal symbol. Or it's in here with Zebu. Because there's a block in that room. Oh yeah, and last time I was wondering, I circled this because I was wondering if there was one of those hidden, like, walk through the wall and it loops around places. Green tea with cherries, that sounds kind of good. Situationally has flavor added to things, but no fun piled high on a cracker yet. For the blue cheese, fair. Matcha lavender, that sounds really good too, oh my gosh. And this is the Inferno... No, this is the Labyrinth entrance. The Inferno entrance is in Sun Temple. Alright, let's look for a wall seal in here. And let's actually draw the Endless Corridor, because I've never drawn it. I have this teeny tiny map of Twin Labyrinths, but no map of Endless Corridor. And this one so far is like 3 rooms long. And... Wait, and I do have a map of it, but it's huge. But I've only ever seen 3 rooms. Or 4 rooms? Is it just that top row that I can get to? Probably shouldn't draw it here. I'm gonna draw it here for now. I'll move it, I promise. I have more graph paper. I'm doubting myself, though. I'm like, oh, I won't get to the rest of this for a long time. So I'll draw it here. I don't love that. I don't love that self-doubt. There's a place called Rad Coffee by where I live, and they have something called a Frankenstein, and it's matcha with Oreos and mint. I don't think I've ever had matcha with anything else but matcha. Matcha ice cream. I want to try that. Okay, I'm casting self-doubt aside instead, because I realized that was a bad decision to not just get a new piece of paper. I'm having trouble ripping this out of the book. There we go. Fresh graph paper. And I'm gonna need another one for Inferno at some point. Not now. I can't even get in there now because the mini-boss is blocking the door. Okay, so this is along the top. Room 1. Here's the entrance. Rad Coffee is also a really cool name for a coffee shop. One of these is breakable, so that we can go down to the next level. Here's a wall seal. Is this the one I found? It's glowing. Oh. Wait, that's what they look like when you break them? We've seen that before. Fascinating. So this one looks like... Except I don't feel like it looked exactly like the one I found, so I guess we'll just know it when we see it. Is there anything else in this room? A door? Wow. I like the variety of the soundtrack. This one feels different than the others. Yeah, this is a good switch up. Graybix, hi, welcome in. Sometime since I've seen a new blind playthrough. Welcome. We are on day 7 actually. Not brand new, but still new. Keep in mind, no hints, no backseating unless... Yeah, I have, if I say safe word, that means I actually want an answer to the question. Otherwise, please consider all the questions rhetorical. Music's the best in this game. It's a bop. Okay, so... I want to finish mapping out these other rooms before I go through that door. This room has the infinity symbol and the keyhole. And then I think the last one is the fairy with the pendant clues. I don't remember what else is in there. Oh, this is one way.
Yes, 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 yes.
Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Glad you could pop in. We're playing this again tomorrow as well. It's just been kind of my focus for getting so beat up for games right now. I am happy we've made it this far. Okay, and then the last one has the save tablet and the fairy and a chest that we opened, which I'm not marking what items I got from the chests after I opened them, but I'm marking them off with checkboxes that they've been explored. So here's S for save. Here's the door for the fairy, and here's the check mark for the chest. Hamter, hi, welcome in. How's it going? Should we go talk to Fairy again? And then I guess there's a door at the end, but the door just loops around. I could make it that spiral door. Have you found the pendant? It should be in the place where one goes to gaze upon Goddess Isis. Not yet. We're working on it. Oh, I used my whip. Didn't do any good. Should probably go heal soon. But this would have been a lot of health back when we started. Wait for the pollen. Okay. Oh, it's a shop. With something I can't purchase. For I don't know how many coins. Hear my background noise while I do exciting task of sorting, labeling audio files. Nice, good luck. Okay, that's not what I was thinking. I was hoping this would get us to the next level down. Wishful thinking. After this, then... Okay, rude. After I go through this door, let's go back and heal just for fun. Because this still puts us on that, like, first row. Yeah. Pretty good. I'm playing La-Mulana too. I only need one finger, so pretty tough. Gotcha. We haven't talked very much about La-Mulana 2. I don't know if it's spoilers to talk about it, but I've heard good things about it as well, and some quality of life improvements, which is nice to hear. So what's my health gonna be at now that we got another orb? The warm puddle. Oh, we didn't get an orb. We got maybe a health refill. Okay, that's fine. This says cliff in front of the altar. I haven't labeled a surface map yet. I haven't really dealt with the surface map yet. I probably should. I know where Argus is. I like La-Mulana 2, not quite as much as 1, but it was still a great time. Is it longer, bigger, about the same length? Okay, now... Now what? I suppose I could finish labeling... Oh, let's see if there is a seal, a wall seal in Twin Labyrinths real quick. Depends how well you play. Well, if you're really good, you're a master, and you already know the answers, which one's longer? Similar in length, some improvements, but nothing serious. I think one got a lot of improvements with patches. No, your grammar's fine, no worries. About the same. Okay. It's a bit bigger, but not by a massive factor. Interesting. Interesting. I keep forgetting I don't have a Twin Labyrinths warp. Dang it. Maybe never mind. Maybe hold off on that. I know how to get there. It's not hard to get to. I just... That doesn't seem like as urgent of a task if I don't have a warp. Just to do it real quick and then run away. See, here's that wall seal, empty wall seal. That's so strange. I wonder if something happens when you break this one and maybe this one, a seal forms. It's really weird. Where's my Temple of the Sun map? Here it is. I like the riddles. They're easier in 2 than in 1. Interesting. Hi, Esperator. How are you? We are exploring more. I got my first wall seal. And I beat up that boss, that mini-boss in Spring in the Sky. Okay, I want to go to Sun Temple. Not Inferno, but we know how to get there. Yeah, the Cyclops crab. I shot it with a gun. And it worked really well. It only took 2 hits. I was so happy. What's the room below this called? I don't have it labeled. Altar of War. Let's label it. I think this is the temple, the area that I ran out of pencils, though, to color code. We already got our second stretch break? Wait, this is the wrong one. Time flies so fast. I can't believe it. Pencil. The gun works. The gun is powerful. Altar of War. Okay. This is also Altar of War. Wait, did I already label? Dang it, I already labeled Altar of War in green. Ooh. It's blue-green now. No, it's ruined. I give up. The playthrough's over. Okay, that gave us an extra color, though. Undo, undo! What am I looking for? Wall seals. And a way to get over to that part of the map. I don't know how to get over there. What does this thing on top of here say? Point and shoot. Aim and shoot. Ugh. Is that gonna hit me? Oh, just over my head. Okay. Let's take our stretch break while I come up with a plan of what to do next. I think... I mean, I'm in Sun Temple because I feel like Sun Temple is the area I know the least about. I've taken so many notes on gods and goddesses, but there's so many rooms of Sun Temple that I'm like, what? Why does this exist? What is this for? And I don't understand why I can't pull the plug on the water in Spring in the Sky. I think we need to do that. I don't know how. Mark them both blue-green. I did! See? I tried to combine blue-green here. This one looks more green than blue. It's fine. Notes are about ruins. They should be ruined. Yeah. Alright, have a good stretch break. Real quick one. And then we'll keep going through Sun Temple and see what I can figure out. Thanks, everybody! There's a program called Milton Paint. Wait, it scrolled up. Allows for drawing with infinite precision. You can zoom forever and zoom out. I wonder if it would be good. Maybe. I write all my notes, text notes in here, and some drawings. And I've been transferring these to digital notes on Obsidian after stream, but I like handwriting them during stream. I could do the same with the maps, too. I could transfer them. I hate new Squarespace ads. Monetize your hobby and become a dominant corporation. What? Thanks for the welcome back. Oh my goodness. Squarespace, isn't that the one that's like make your own website? Don't they usually market for like small businesses? Like Etsy people, kind of? Oops, I tabbed out on accident. Aim and shoot. But this room has an eyeball that has damaged me so many times. This eyeball always beats me up. No, okay, it's fine. I was trying to jump up so it would aim up here and go over my head, but it's too smart for me. I'm sorry to this little kitty. If I can sew, I can make clothes. If I can make clothes, I can take over the whole world of fashion in a really joyless way. Wonderful! Love that. I buy handmade clothes so they can be joyless, yes. I really wish I could make that jump! This is left side. This is the left side room. Oh, I didn't do that right. It's fine, I made it. This is the Sun Pyramid. And Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh my god. that room up there is a clue about something. I don't think it's a shop. Any secret paths over here? Oh, the goddess Isis. So at the Temple of the Sun, she gave birth to Horus and is a figure of motherhood. Because of this fact, she waits silently perched higher than any other god. We've read that. And I've also climbed down this ladder. Wait, when they shoot, there was like some sparkles for a second. Do you see that? Maybe it's just after they shoot, they crumble a little bit. Oh. What if I wait here? The wing, like, moved up. Welcome back, llama. How's ice cream? We're looking at these suspicious statues. Is this the aim and shoot clue? What is this clue? Moon gazing pit. That's so weird. Can I shoot you with the gun? I'm gonna run out of bullets. I only have 2 shots left. I don't know. I don't want to use them. What if I reflect your own shots back at you? If I aim from here, does that go straight at your mouth? Oh, I got blasted. Yeah. It's a little low. Oh. I just feel like the reason I don't want to, okay, first of all, because bullets cost 400 monies, and money is fickle in this game, because otherwise I would just go for it, but also because it feels really weird that this item that I bought for a bunch of coins, like, the solution is just buy the item and use it on this thing, other than, I guess, the aim and shoot clue. But the aim and shoot clue isn't even in this room. Ice cream is great, also got hot cocoa and wrote up my schedule. Nice! More plants than I realized. It's a busy week. And if I do this now, I only have 1 bullet left. What else do I need bullets for? Boss fights. The giant. Oh, it didn't even work! I wasted it. It went like 1... It didn't go far enough. I feel like a note on the gun's uses would be an anxiety-reducing comment rather than a hint. Yeah. I feel like the gun makes things easier by being a really powerful weapon option. But I would think that except for the clue about aim and shoot. Okay, sounds good, storage. Yeah, if anybody's in the spoiler chat channel, you can use that. Feeling when shurikens have more range than guns. That was weird. I feel like maybe I didn't press the button long enough or something. It's possible. But even if this were something I was supposed to shoot with the gun, sitting here using the whip isn't doing anything either, so I just don't know if it's something I can damage. Okay, bye. This is so weird. Why are you all crumbly? Okay, this is Altar of Mirrors, which is I was trying to get to. So is this room? No. Just this one. And this has a wall seal. I'm starting to wonder if the wall seal drawings are just kind of what they are. And I could have opened one of those other ones, because this one's glowing too. And I could have chosen one to open. But I didn't notice it was glowing until I already chose the one that I chose. Kind of looks like that, kind of not. Yeah, please don't backseat. Please don't. It won't be worth it, I promise. Even if I could use the seal here, though, I don't have a way to get to that circle, so it doesn't really matter in this room. Not yet, at least. Fill this place with what I think says is water. The mirror that reveals the hidden side will come within thy reach. I think that's what that's telling me. Oh, whoops. Forgot there was an eye in this room. Wait, but it let me whip this thing? The eyeballs are so weird. Maybe this breaks once it fills with water. I don't know. RK, hi. Thanks for the hello. Welcome in. No, no. Don't make the mods nervous. I know you all are joking, but it's tough. With backseating, it just becomes like, are you about to do it, or are you just good-heartedly joking? I feel like it just makes me nervous to see. I don't know. Whatever. Everybody's been really good so far. No issues whatsoever. Semi. I'm good. We should probably go heal. Or I should die so that I get that one bullet back, because I haven't done anything since I last quick saved, I don't think. I just warped here and that was it. Yeah, let's die. Ugh. Ugh. Oh no. No. Death by Sonic. It's okay, RK. It's really good. We already made a discovery today. This game is like note-taking galore. And didn't go fast enough, please. Retro vibes meets Metroidvania meets you're solving a giant mystery. It's really hard to explain this game's like genre. Sometimes small hints tickle myself to remove struggle. Hard to explain. Oh, gotcha, Hamter. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. We're good. Meets suffering, yes. Castlevania meets Indiana Jones meets I Want to Be the Guy. Yeah. Something like that. So what did I get from all this? Suffering. And Sonic. This room has one of the empty circles. I feel like this wasn't open before. What the heck? You know I pressed up on that door. I wouldn't not press up on that door. Don't tell me, though, if there was something that triggered it being able to walk in here. Oh, Petrie. It's okay. I looked. It's okay. It's okay. My name is Mulbruk. By order of the four philosophers, I, Mulbruk, await the strong one. Under the divine protection of Isis, my life is preserved in an eternal slumber. Have we seen the name Mulbruk before? It sounds very vaguely familiar, but I think there was like a Malduk or something. It was a trap, I know. No, it's okay. For future reference, for past events, even if we get beyond something, like, I'll probably ask to clarify and say safe word. But, like, now I have learned something that I hadn't learned, which is that the bosses open doors, and I didn't know that. And I don't know how I would have deciphered that. One of the many infamous traps. Okay, let's write this down. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not mean about it if it's a gray area, because past events is like a very gray area. By order of the four philosophers. Also, mods, that was really quick. I was too quick. I should have let you do your thing. Stream delay, yeah. I've never played this, but why don't you do the thing to make the thing happen? Thanks, Indy. I, Mulbruk, await the strong one. Under the divine... This music is cute. Protection of Isis. My life is preserved in... Everybody's in an eternal slumber. The giants. Mulbruk. Okay, let me search my digital notes to see if I've seen this name before. Oh, I don't have it open. It would help if I opened the program. Just get good. Easy. Surprised on the speed there. Yeah, our mods rule. A secret. Everyone is sleepy. Nope. But do I have... Mole something? I have Mushusu. Marduk or something? Yeah, that was it. Beast belonging to Marduk. Oh, Mushusu is the beast belonging to Marduk, the most powerful god in Babylonian mythology. Malduk, not to be confused with Marduk. Those are similar. I'm gonna write this down to help solidify in my head. Or if I need to look at this again, I'll remember to search this other note. The music goes hard. Fascinating. There's more. In accordance with the ancient contract, I shall lend my powers to the one who awakens me. Do I get a new power? Oops, sorry. I'm off screen. Look, I'm trying. I'm left-handed. It's hard to not cover up the notes. Ancient contract. Lend powers. Oh, that's it. Okay, but do you, like, give me something? But, like, can I have it? Now it's filled. Now this thing underneath the thing is filled instead of empty. Wild. Left-handed struggles. I would double check the contract. You can't just offer that willy-nilly. Okay, so... Oh, I didn't jump away quick enough. Oh. Oh, I do get a thing. No, 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 no. Mulbruk slept well. Oh, now you're awake. You were gray, and I never checked. So we checked, and then when we walked back, the seal was there that we had gotten, and now you're awake. She's awake! Now we get the cool power? Mulbruk will help, but still terribly sleepy. For now, here's... Oh, just info for now. Okay. So sleepy. There's a lot of stuff that I'm gonna have to write down for Mulbruk in the other notes. Wedget is another name for the god Horus. Horus is the god that the fifth children worshipped. It's an eye that supposedly sees everything from on high. Oh my gosh, there's so much information. It's an overload. Wedget equals Horus. Which we've learned somewhere else that Wedget is Horus's eye. Is the god the fifth children worshipped. Eye that sees everything from on high. Mulbruk knows pretty much anything. Oh, sleepy, going to sleep, see you later. Okay. Note-taking intensifies. So the fifth children had wisdom. They're not fish, they're not birds, they're not snakes. They had wisdom, and they worshipped Horus. Watching you figure things out makes me excited diving into lore this week. It's been so fun. We haven't played a good lore game in a minute. I love my indies and my photography games and painting games and wholesome games, but I love my lore too. Where's Indy? I love my indies, yeah. Tour, how are you? Welcome in. La-Mulana. We played all indie wholesome games in December and it was really, really fun. but we took a break from metroidvanias and puzzles for it. Well, no, we still played puzzles because we played Taiji, which is an indie puzzle game. Okay. This doesn't tell me what to do next, but it does give me critical information that I need to go back and see if things are open. Well, and now I know where those circles are. Some of them. Mainly, I just know where the one is in Spring in the Sky, the empty circles. I still don't think I've seen an empty circle in Mausoleum or a wall seal, which is weird. I wonder... Okay, I have two questions. The first question is about the sequence of events for Mulbruk, which now I do want a safe word answer. What I was saying was, so I learned that we beat Amphisbaena, which opened this door. I went and talked to Mulbruk, and before I talked to Mulbruk, the seal was still empty, right? You can answer that. And then when I came out of the room from talking to Mulbruk, the seal was back. I know this is a lot of things in a row. You can like retype it out if you want to. The seal was back, and then I walked in front of the seal and it disappeared again, and then we went back in and got the second bit. Okay, it was empty. That's the main thing. Because I think I never came back here after I finished the Amphisbaena fight, so we never triggered the first sequence of events, and then we got like 2 sequence of events back to back, is what it seems like. It's not that important, to like get it, like the timing that explained, I feel like, but I'm just trying to put it together. Yeah, I love The Witness, absolutely. Love The Witness, 100%ed it. Loved Taiji, haven't 100%ed it yet. Hopefully someday. The Witness, every time I watch The Witness or return to it, I'm like, oh, I love this stupid game because it's so... Oh, I've never actually landed on that platform before. It's so full of itself and has some really, really tedious things, but like I love it so much. Here's one of these eye blocks. This is Sanctuary. I should probably mark this eye block, and this is where that elevator is. And there's a shop next door. The Witness is kind of like Myst, yeah. It's walking simulator, puzzles, and I don't know. Sorry, I'm all over the place right now. I have a love-hate relationship with some parts of The Witness. The puzzles and puzzle system is so good, so genre-defining, yeah. I feel like love-hate relationship is absolutely fair. I want to know how to get down to this area with all of these tablets. I see the staircases and the opening next door. This is one way. Have I ever been underneath Hathor's room? I wonder if this is one of those, like... Oh, I can't go back that way. Spiral things. Oh, I have so many questions. this right here, I feel like has a secret entrance or something. I'm just staring at my notes. I'd agree on everything. Agree on the witness, so much cool stuff, but Lord, it could have thrown us for a bit of fun lore or something instead of everything is pointless except philosophy. Bye. Like, it was, we had somebody, oh, you're good, RK, no worries. We had somebody come in and talk about, the witness. And I don't remember exactly how it came up. Maybe it was during Taiji or something. And they were like, oh, I can't stand that game. It's like a soulless version of Talos Principle, which I thought was really interesting. Because we played Talos Principle as a follow-on to The Witness. And I was like taken aback by how much like story it actually had. It was really cool. I don't know. I feel like I wasn't expecting story in Talos Principle because The Witness had like none. Oh, I didn't want to fall there. Gosh darn it. What am I doing? I want to try to get to the top of that other ramp simply because I never have. But these birds are super annoying. This one especially. No! There's like no options once you fall sometimes. It's okay. The story in Talos is honestly my favorite part, especially the DLC. The DLC is so good, we should go back to it. I think that I don't remember what time of year it was that we played it. Either I was like stressed out with something or I was just puzzled out at the time. I need to get this cat before it falls down in that little spot and blocks my way. Okay, now I can get you. Oh my god, no! Alright, forget it. It's not worth it. I just want to stand on the top of that platform because I want to see if I can break the wall or if that's one of the secret walls. But clearly it's not worth it. We're looking for secret walls in Sun Temple in case anyone is like, what the heck is she doing right now? This is a waste of time. Sometimes you gotta waste time. The Sun Temple music stresses me out. And I don't want to go fight that other mini-boss right now. Do you have anything else to say? Mulbruk is sleepy. What if I come back during the stars and the moon and the sun? We have it set to moonlight right now because G is praying? Yeah, G is praying. Oops. Oops. Ah! Come on, secret walls. No needless destruction of ruins. When was the last time I went over here? Oh, there's a wall seal. This one is not glowing. So I do think it made a difference. And that it wasn't that I didn't notice. But it was that I just hadn't got to the one that was glowing yet. Every track has an actual name, not just area theme. Even the attention to detail is noticeable. I feel like that is, well, yeah. I was gonna say, I feel like that's fairly common, but I think Chicory is just area name, and then I think the boss fights have special names. But like, Fez, all of the songs have unique names, but there's no words in Fez, so there's no area names to call them anything. This game, you're an archaeologist. If archaeologists were people who go to ancient places and destroy them. Yes. This talks about the twins. This is Horus's eye. I've pressed this button a million times before. I don't know, let's press it again. We got the shell horn noise, but I don't know what else. Maybe you're supposed to use another weight. I'm gonna need to buy more weights. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Can I jump across there? No. Wait, what just happened? Was this closed before? I feel like maybe dropping the eye did stuff? I want to go heal, but maybe I should stick around a little longer. Eye that sees everything from on high. Leave me alone! Is anyone else stressed out by this music right now? I think I'm just stressed because I'm self-conscious that I'm wandering. I'm not working on anything in particular. I still don't have an item to use with this. I don't know what to do with this. Not all who wander are lost. I need to... Let's get out of this area. I don't know why the music is just freaking me out. I need to, take a minute to, like, read notes and figure out... We just learned all this stuff about Horus and Isis. But it didn't give me anything to do. Under the divine protection of Isis, my life is preserved in eternal slumber. We woke Mulbruk, and they said, Wedget is Horus, Horus is the god the fifth children worshipped, eye that sees everything from on high. Will allow a music change, thanks. We know where Horus and Horus's eye are in the Sun Temple. And I can release the eye, and it falls and it breaks. Maybe that triggers other things in that area too, but I don't know what. So I don't like the idea of just like, oh yeah, walk through again. So far I haven't run into it too much, but there's also an aspect of like getting information and streaming at the same time and like reading it and writing it down but not fully taking it in yet. We've done pretty good. But sometimes it just doesn't click until later on. I ran into that a lot with Outer Wilds. I realized a lot of stuff after stream and was like, okay, let me tell you what I thought of, and I haven't done anything since I thought of this. Origin seal was in the Room of Origin that described the beginning, which is about the child being born. All that is very cool. Challenge the Inferno Cavern. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm ready for a nudge. Collect the 4 sigils. The path will expand further still. I think there's 5 sigils. Maybe there's 4, and then this is showing like the circular wall seal or something. I don't know. Let's we're not quite to our stretch break, but let's take a really quick break. I'm gonna use the bathroom really quick, and if you are new and you haven't done the nudges with us before, basically what it means is a couple people have thought of some like really vague, here's an idea of something to go, like maybe an area to go try next. The vaguer the better, and then we can always build on that. Petrie's got some like ready to go, I think maybe Fishy's does too. No pressure to come up with these, of course, but it just helped me kind of refocus for streaming purposes. Obviously, if I wasn't streaming this, I could sit on it all day long and just like wander around and do circles and wait until my brain clicks, but for stream, designated nudgers, yes. So while you all are doing that, I think Petrie, you've already got one, so I'm just gonna take my bathroom break and then we'll come back and give direction. Yeah, Kitty, you get it. Exactly. Less vague than last time. Hint crafting is really hard. And I'm not going to be mad at the hint, because I think I need it. Alright. Be right back, and then we'll do the nudge. Thanks, everyone. We're going to check if my hint is viable. I'm going to ask either Petrie or Fishies for now. But in the future, if you want to use the spoiler chat in our Discord, that's the main place where people can like bounce ideas off each other for hints. I'd like to keep it to... We're currently corresponding. Okay, there we go. Discord users where you all can hang out and chat about it. Oh, welcome! Okay, I see a couple of you. Let me get you your permissions. It's in the gaming section, and I have that channel muted and hidden during a playthrough, so I don't read any of the hints. The mods can get in there until after the playthrough's over. Corresponding or conspiring? Did you see the Google Doodle? No. For like today's homepage search doodle? With the boba? Celebrating bubble tea. You can make boba? That's so cute. I have to do this after stream. Meanwhile, I'll keep jamming to the La-Mulana music. Actually, in the meantime, let's go surface and heal and buy weights. The usual trip. We can share it after. Yeah, if you made, can you take like screenshots of it and share it in the Discord? That sounds really cute. I feel like if I were to write a list of puzzles for La-Mulana, it would be the least linear list that maybe I've ever written. We always went into new days of Outer Wilds with like a checklist. Like, I want to try these things today. And it was always like, go here, go here, go here. Like maybe 3 or 4 things. And the notes themselves are pretty... Oh, hi Totoro babe. Welcome in. Thanks for popping by. Appreciate you. It's been a good stream. Lots of note-taking. It would look like... Outer Wilds would look very spread out, but there weren't as many concurrent things that I wanted to try at all times. And La-Mulana just feels like there's 75 things I could try at all times. Which is why the nudges are super appreciated, because otherwise I'm too unfocused. Alright, 13 weights is fine. Dun, dun, dun. New save, 11 hours. 11's a good number. I kind of want to see what these rooms are called. We've looked at the Village of Departure, Gate of Departure. This is all stuff based off of the entrance to the ruins. And then there's the altar. Sound Canyon. Oh, excuse you. Rude. Sound Canyon. Foothill. Which is weird because that's just a giant gap. Oh, dropped a weight. Nudgers, are you almost ready? Gazing Hill. I should write these down, but I'm not. Foothill, Gazing Hill, Gate of Departure. Sound Canyon. Prioritize. Oh, no, 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 I got knocked back. Spoiler chat is on fire. Thank you, mods. Please thank the mods. Not as in a mess. Yeah, oh, I figured it wasn't. I would hope it's not. If we need to we need to not moderate. Be diplomatic, we can. Okay, I don't need to go back to the right. That ended in disaster. This is Baroon's Waterfall. We can write that down. That seems important. Have I seen that name before? Where'd my pencil go? It's under this page. I don't have a graph paper for the surface yet. I'll just write it in here. Surface. Baroon's Waterfall. With these scary birds. And you can leap across and land here. Also Barun's waterfall. Oh, this has a seal next to it? Upper right hand corner. But like the next one down. That bird was ready for me, yeah. Wall seal and chest. And we got the chest underneath here, which was an orb. Wow, that was terrible. Waterfall of the Goddess. This is fun. Goddess like Isis? We got a good nudge. Thanks for brainstorming. Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready for the nudge. Safe word. Thanks for collaborating. Shoot doesn't mean gun, but don't forget to aim. Alright. Thank you. I know somebody, I think Fishies mentioned the gun thing earlier. A couple people did. No, it was not just Fishies. It was like a multiple... We want to tell her about the gun because it's confusing her. So that was a good one. I like that. Oh, I wanted that orb. Meanwhile, I'm just dinking around down here by the waterfall. Okay. Back to the stressful music, though. Let's go. First warm puddle. I know, I love the pause animations, are so good. Flipping through notes, having a snack, falling asleep, all midair. One of the cutest things about this game. Stress. So we want to go back to, well, it depends. That clue is in... Man, I really need to label this better. What is this room? It's in the right side. I didn't label it because this is just left side and right side. I guess I could just put a big L and R on them. No. Oh, good. It's this. And this is where we are, actually. The Altar of War. But don't forget to aim. Sometimes I can get both of them with one, yeah, with just one whip. I wonder... Okay, here's a question. Can you shoot these open with a shuriken? You can. So that's fun. But I'm gonna drop down instead. We're gonna go back to, no! Okay, we're gonna redo all of that. It's funny because I went into the, I went into this game knowing that there were traps and stuff and trapdoors. I didn't think that was very spoilery. There's our screen break reminder, but we already did that. But I think what's annoying me more than the trapdoors is just the enemy placement. And it's not even that the enemies are hard. Most of the overworld enemies are one hit with your whip and they're gone. It's that the enemies will always end up in a spot where you exactly where you don't want them to be, and then the knockback like completely gets you off your path. That's the most annoying thing, not the trapdoors. I know it's brutal and punishing and it hates you and all that. Like, I knew that going into this, but I definitely didn't think it would be with the I just thought it was gonna be more like unexpected surprises of doors. I'm gonna run out of shurikens. Should have bought those too. The knockback is the real enemy, yeah. The goddess Isis is at the Temple of the Sun. Oops. Aim at what? Don't answer that. What if I jump up and down on top of this a bunch? Does this make you weaker? Wait, when did I get this other... I forgot we had this other, jewel. Can I read these? Can I examine these statues? No. Maybe I can from right here. Maybe I can from the ladder below. Hi Lolo, how are you? It doesn't make it angry. I don't know. Can I use my hand scanner? Maybe the wall seals... Maybe it's not like a 1-for-1. This one is glowing. Maybe one wall seal works on multiple, or one wall, what is it called? The seal, the origin seal, works on multiple wall seals. And I don't know how to get in there. The enemy resets a half foot and poof, there again. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes that's super annoying too. Oh, I can't go back up from here unless I go inside of this? That's annoying. I think so far Sun Temple is my least favorite. I don't like it here. And I can't destroy... Oh, I can't destroy that thing because there's an eyeball right there. What does this say again? I drew a picture of that. The woman is with child. They gave birth to a new child when the waters of the ocean calmed. A wingless, gillless child. How do I get out of here? No, I didn't mean to jump back. Oh, I don't know if I can. I have to jump down. I haven't been in here enough times to remember how the inside of this place works. We've been in that shop. That is a shop. Yeah, this is Sanctuary. This is Tefnut and Shoe. There's the elevator and the eye block. Underneath is Atin's room. Which it tells us to go down there once we've solved all the puzzles. Alright, I'm about to go buy more shuriken, because if we're going to be aiming and shooting, that's the only thing I have for aiming and shooting. And I wonder if I'm supposed to destroy more of those face enemies. Oh, if this shop has them, that would be lovely. I should probably go heal, though. The shop music is also really good. $30? At one point we had like 40, but that was from originally getting them and picking them up as drops on the map. And then I used them all. Now it costs money when I want to replenish. Okay, back to it. But I don't know how... Like, if I release a shuriken right now, it's gonna hit the wall, and the eyeball is gonna hate me. So I don't know how I'm supposed to... Can I get this one too? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that had so much money in it. Once again, losing all the cash. Eh. So be it. No, God, no. Ugh. It looks like I could fall and just stand on the top of this pillar like this tiny little spot, but you can't. Nobody gets into archaeology for the cash. I'm doing it for the fame and the chance to date young Harrison Ford. I replayed Inscription just before this and the save messages keep alarming me. Oh no. I hate this platform. I mess this up every time. I want to go up from here. Where are my invisible platforms now? I'm on fire! What if we just abandon all of this and go to the moon gazing pit? Moon sounds cool. Except then we gotta pierce somebody's heart, and I don't like that either. There's an Ankh in the background, that's cool. She looks like she suffers. We could strip all the nasty original decor and paint it fresh and white for TikTok, please. TikTok is all kinds of different decor. What are you talking about? I have played To the Moon. I did not like it. And there's another one, the bird one. I didn't play that. A bird story. The type that makes people really angry when traditional wooden interiors. Okay, I feel you there, yeah. Game-wise, it is pretty bad. It just... And this is why now for stream games, I try to do a little more research. Because that game was hyped up a lot. It was one of the games on stream that got lots of chatter ahead of time. And it didn't meet expectations of what it was hyped for. And that's not anybody's fault, but I didn't read a single review and like form my own opinion of like, will I like this? And it just was not what I expected. / the story didn't hit like I was told it would hit, so I've played a little bit of Pedestrian. It's really good. And it goes on sale kind of frequently. It was pretty affordable the last time I saw it on sale, but I haven't purchased it yet. I played it when I was in Toronto on Semi's computer because he owns it. I have To the Moon on my Steam list. It was super recommended, but it's also been there for like 7 years. To the Moon, if games are really sold to me like you're gonna cry your eyes out, I feel like that gets me over anticipating it, and I feel like the games that get me to cry are ones where I'm not expecting it. Like, it defeats the whole purpose to like really sell the emotions, because then you're steeling yourself for that the whole time. Okay, I'm ready, it's gonna be sad. And also, I think that the Moon, some of the stuff in the story aged a little weird. And the story was just all over the place. Like, it was bizarre. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm aiming at. I don't know where to go. And now I'm stuck down here. Is To the Moon on my channel? I don't think so. That is a really, really old playthrough. That's within like the first 5 months, 6 months of me streaming, I think. And I might have made a highlight of it, but I don't have it it's not in any of our collections. So if you were to dig through like all highlights, you'd have to go to summer of 2020, which is way back. I think summer. I don't even know if it was summer or spring, but it was before August of 2020. Maybe you could find it. I do have the VOD saved like to my backup hard drive, so it's not lost forever. I did fight a mini boss, Lolo, and I fought Amphisbaena. And we fought the giant, but I did not win. Attempts were made. Yeah, some good progress. I mean, the beginning today started out strong with the mini boss in Spring in the Sky. And some really good lore. And Mulbruk. Like, we've done a lot already today. What does pansexual mean? That's a very good question. We're happy to chat about it here, and anybody else that identifies as pan, feel free to chime in. But pan is basically you are attracted to people regardless of gender. You're attracted to the person themselves and not like the aspects of gender or oh, this looks suspicious. Doesn't this lock look suspicious? No. Yes to any gender. And like bisexual and pansexual kind of get intermingled because bi means like 2 or more. So it could be attracted to somebody because of their gender, because they're a man, because they're a woman, because they're non-binary, whatever the case may be. But you're just like, yes, more, all. 2 or more. Whereas pan is like, yeah, 2 or more, all, but it's really not because of your gender, it's because of my attraction comes from a place of like, your humanity, basically. That's how I understand it. And different people define it different ways, too. And that's okay. Own your own identity, like, make it yours. It's amazing how lots of progress can happen and then 10 minutes of listening to Sun Temple. I know! What is that storage? It makes me doubt everything. Is bi Robin best definition for bi? Okay. I bought all these shurikens, but no, I want to stand there. No! Ha! Okay, this gave me nothing. Oh, it's shooting at me. To the one who has solved all the puzzles, one can dream. Sometimes there's little sparkles when you land on stuff and it makes me think it's a block that I can destroy. Oh, that killed me quick. I wanted to try to get that block behind the statue and I don't have enough health for that. I'm glad I gave Submerged Hidden Depth a chance and not listened to the reviews. I don't know which expectations people went in. I found it really beautiful and it surprised me. I love that. I'm glad you formed your own opinion on it. I read reviews for research, but I don't like automatically count out on a game just because of the reviews. Not in the same way each time, but in some degree, the way she describes it helped me when I came out to myself. I love that. Thank you, Robin. You heard it, guys. Jump down here when you've completed the game. All the puzzles. Safe word, how much damage do the spikes do? Is it the same every time? That block is nothing. I thought maybe the block was something. I'm suspicious because that one block, that one time was something. Oh, it's percentage. Dang. Okay, let's go back down here. This is sparkly, but I just had to move this to get out of this room. That one time. The game was free on Epic? I've never heard of that one. I'm glad you both loved it. Okay, what else? Should we do like a couple of things to focus on? Maybe I'll just go over to try to go over to the Inferno again. Maybe we should try to fight that other boss. I'd really like to solve some of those puzzles, though. No, I pressed jump! It's hard enough when you do press the button. It's worse when it doesn't register your button presses. This might be the worst room in the game. I don't think I could jump up here now, even if I wanted to. And then the way to get down from here was like jump and then give myself some, yeah, some vertical. Oh, what's up here? Anything? No? Just a spot for the bats to get me? And this is Hathor. I don't really want to be in here. Can I read? Is this a specific goddess or god on the wall? No. And these are lasers. And the music is still this awful music. I'm over it. Leave me alone. No. $15 left. Oh my god. Stop running away. I don't have enough. That's it. That's not what I wanted. What? Oh, I hit my own caltrops. It was weak to caltrops? Quick, quick, we gotta go save. I used all of my shurikens. I don't want to die because I don't want to do that again. Caltrops represent! I was like, I can whip this, but I could also put something pointy on the ground. We'll come back, it's fine. I gotta buy stuff anyways. Zote, hi, welcome in. This is where the weights are. Miniboss kicks you, mods kick them from the stream. That miniboss is banned. Did that miniboss have a name? Is that spoilers? Safe word? You could tell me what its name is. Had 10 feet. Yeah! Okay, good point. It's not a spoiler. Buer? I'm gonna write that down. Inferno mini boss. Thank you. I have an awful time walking on a Lego. Yeah. I love it when games say so much without words. I play it again to fully understand it. What was it called again? Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Perfect. Got a bunch of money from that. Oh, can I ask another safe word question? Hang on. Okay, we have 20 of those. Those orbs that I get when I beat a mini boss. My question is, do I have the answer somewhere in my notes of what those are? Just yes or no. Should I know what those are? Safe word. And then if it's like a mechanics or like a manual thing, we can talk about it. Submerged Hidden Depths. Thank you, Kitty. Inspired by another game. Okay. They won't be in your notes, but it's a mechanics thing. Do you think it's fair to say what they are? I really want to ask. I have so much writing space here. Why am I not using this? Okay, yes, safe word. You can tell me what it is when that drops after a fight. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being so patient with these ridiculous questions. Save, and then Caltrops, I think there's a shop where I can buy them in the Gate of Guidance. Maybe, maybe not. I don't really want to go down there. Ugh, okay. The big green orbs are a big version of the little green orbs. Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you. that makes a lot of sense. I was thinking it was like an orb or a health refill. What color are the orbs compared to the green drops at the end of a fight? Are the health orbs blue? You can answer that. Safe word. I just want to know what the different colors of orbs look like. Oh, they're all the same? Oh. Even the ones that we get from like a treasure chest? Huh. Misleading. Oh, no. Yeah, the sacred ones. That's what I meant. Those are blue. Okay. I just couldn't remember what color they were. No, that was close. Oh my god. Don't ruin this for me, Bat. It was close. Confusing colorways? A little bit. Yeah, it is kind of confusing. The blue ones increase your green bar, and the green ones increase your blue bar. Why did they do that? Because it's La-Mulana. Alright, new area. New page. I might have written down this symbol already. But if I did, I don't know where it is. Actually, instead of a brand new page, is this the back of another page? No, let's try to use this space so I'm not wasting space in my notebook. It's got like a green symbol. And I think this is Inferno Cavern. So we probably need a new piece of graph paper. I'm jumping the gun a little bit. La-Mulana did progress with the remake. At least you don't need software to be able to save. Yeah, the first day of not saving was a real challenge. I don't know, it took me like a couple hours of just getting acquainted with the game, dying, and then we figured out how to save. Watch this area be like one room. Inferno! I do have a heat-proof case. I'm on fire already. It's hot! It's me. It's getting hot today. Speaking of hot, lava is also pretty hot. Don't fall in. It'll be very bad. But if you are prepared to face danger and soldier forward, something good might happen. You're still young, just take on the challenge. This music is great. Okay, here's our entrance. There's some blocks. I'm scared. Now I have to master my weird jumping, weird platforming. Ooh, pretty! Something good might happen? In La-Mulana, are you sure? Oh, I forgot to write Inferno Cavern, even though I said it. This didn't solve any of the puzzle. Wait, were you all... Okay, I don't think this actually had anything to do with point and shoot, aim and shoot, right? No map! I know, it's so sad. I can't label the rooms yet, but I can draw them. Save for it, yeah. I think aim and shoot was for something else. Not a sausage. It was for a different thing. Okay, thank you. I put boba in wholesome chat. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you, Soul. I don't trust that ground above the lava. And those monsters look scary. Can I examine this statue? No. I'm on fire. Turn left and swing your weapon. Turn right and swing your weapon. The souls of the children long departed shall be awakened. Sure. Okay, let me write that down. We answered yes and no, but we meant the same. I understood. Her hand's an L. She's doing this, except not squished together. Oops, wait. Inferno. Turn left and swing weapon. Turn right and do the same. The souls of the children long departed shall be awakened. Okay. Okay. She's not making the shape of an L on her forehead. You know, that would be fun. Imagine if there were Smash Mouth references in this game. Doing the Macarena in ruins is just a good time. Is this some secret, like, Castlevania fighting move? You don't need to answer that. I don't trust that ground. Oop, but now I'm gonna fall. Oh, an orb. This is the statue room. Fish statue lady. And how do I draw you? With a fishtail. Oop. And your arms are like this. That's pretty good. For being that tiny. This has an orb. And a ladder going up, which means I probably didn't draw this map very well. Probably need more space above. We'll find out. What is that thing? Is this a trap? Yep. Just keep going. No. Hey. Come on. I don't know how far I fell. This, and then we ended up here, and there was a switch, and I pushed it, and there was like a blue wall. Hang on. That I think maybe would have gone away if I had survived longer, and then we fell, I think, through a whole entire room, and then we landed here, which has a bunch of stuff. And this also has a breakable wall. Draw while you're falling! I'm not that talented. The puzzles started coming, they don't stop coming. Exactly. I want to read that, but it's right under the fire. Also, if I push this, isn't it gonna block the tablet? This is cruel. Okay, let's go here and then come back. Whoa. Those remind me of, like, pollen monsters from Metroid. Pollen monsters, and then those things in the wreck ship. Ooh, fancy. There is more to this land than meets the eye. It is a pivotal location. Tread a different path and return to this land again. Also, what is the note I have about this ahead of time? Challenge the Inferno Cavern. The road ahead is long. Those who proceed prepare to face death. Great! Maybe just try to climb back. Yeah. I bet I can. We love a land that's more than meets the eye. Whole chain of events worked out pretty well. Yeah, I think it's okay. There's no wrong way to fall off of a trap. There is more to this land. Oops. Then meets the eye. Pivotal location. Tread a different path and then return. And then we've got a drawing which looks kind of like an elephant. Like the trunk is sticking straight out and then it's got like an ear hanging down. Can you see this at all? Probably not. I wonder if this is a map. Oh, this is... Okay, I didn't leave enough room. It's fine. This always happens. Pivotal location, arrogant for a wall to say. I trust the wall. There's like a cross inside of there, and then there's supposed to be like more room between these two things, so let me make this a little shallower. I feel like the walls have been pretty helpful thus far, right? Oh my god, why does this have to be so long? That's supposed to connect right there. And there's like a big lock or like a heart or something right here. And then there's like a big spiral. Close enough. It's like a Christmas tree, a lock shaped like a heart, an elephant ear. You know? Compared to other things, the walls are pretty friendly, yeah. Could be literal, yeah. You know what? It could pivot somehow. Well, I don't know. But like, oh Kitty, have a good sleep. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. We have something that pivots other things. It pivots the heavens. The Nebra Sky Temple. What if we go and pivot the Sky Temple and then come back and the whole thing is upside down? Oh, I want that orb. Gimme! Except now I blocked the staircase. Worth it. Doomtroid, have a good one. Take care. We'll see you around. Oops. I'll push that down here. But now I have to mess with this fire monster. Okay, what's all this? Oh, I thought for sure this would be something I could examine in the background. Nope. This has a room off to the left with a bunch of stuff in it. Please don't rotate whole areas. I'm sure the enemies won't appreciate it. I feel like the enemies in this game are pretty adaptable. Oh my goodness. I hate being on fire. Rotate, come back, and they're in resentful heap in the corner. Something makes me think they would just kind of roll with it and figure it out. Most of them fly anyways. So many of them fly. Oh, there is a staircase. Maybe I can get back up. No map. Buer would love it if the world started spinning with him. Probably. Okay, well I don't really want to just jump down, so gonna skip that for now. Oh my god. Oh. This is the worst. Oh. I have another question. If I didn't have the heat-proof case here, like just standing in the cavern, would I not be able to... Yeah, safe word, because I wouldn't have been able to open this at all, but I already had it in advance. So there's no way for me to trial and error to see if just being present in the Inferno itself would have done that. Does that make sense? Okay, let's mess with this room. Oh, look though, there's a bunch of blocks in the walls. So I wonder if those are all required for this. I wouldn't have seen a difference? Okay. Okay. Oh, it's like the waterproof case. Okay, cool. Let's do one of these just for fun. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's only 1, 2, 3 blocks. I wonder if there's a drawing. Oh. I was gonna say, I wonder if there's a drawing somewhere that tells me which ones need to be covered. I like this puzzle. I hate this puzzle. I love this puzzle. Back to back to back. I know the glitch that lets you skip this puzzle. I love block puzzles. I really like it. Let's bully steel fishies. No bullying, no bullying. That was amazing. Oh, I bet this is really interesting. Because there's gonna be some that you can't maybe get to after a certain point. Because you've blocked the way already. Or like this one will drop off here and you can't get on the other side of it. So I feel like it has to go here. I just started pushing things. And that didn't make any more blocks appear. Interesting. This one could go here, or here, or here. But I don't know which... Oh, I gotta draw this. Hang on. Okay. Bottom level. There's a spot. There's a spot. I'm not gonna be able to draw, like, where the original blocks came from. There's a spot. This is where the room entrance is. Here's a spot. And then there's these little ones on top. And here's a spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this one made a block drop, and this one was no block. I think this puzzle is cool. Just watch how I do, yeah. I don't like knowing that it's dreaded. Well, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If it's both loved and feared, then we'll figure out which camp I fall into. This one, if this pops out, it could go here. But it could go to any of these just as much as this one could go to any of these. kind of want to push it to the bottom. I want to see if putting this here will block me from pushing it. No, I still have room to push this. Oh, you play the rando? Yeah. I could see this being annoying in a rando. Okay, this did a block. So we have 2 more to play with. That one, I think, needs to go up here, though. Oh, did I... Am I stuck? This is enough room to push, right? Yeah. Is this gonna crush me? No. That one didn't do anything. But do we have enough? No, we're missing one more.
So many.
We're doing this puzzle. Oh, I locked myself in. I have to do this block. So let's hope it does something. I wonder if it matters what order you do them in. Oh, I got lucky. I'm writing this down just in case I need it for later. Wait, am I gonna have enough space on the edge of here to push it though? I might not. Yeah, it's flush. Okay, I thought I got lucky. I got lucky in that I learned which ones do blocks, but I have to push that other one over here because there's not even another option. I wonder if it resets from leaving. Most of the puzzles like this reset from leaving, right? Okay. Oh yeah, and we have to make these go off first. That wasn't so bad, right? That could have been a lot worse. So actually, neither of those can go over here because they're both gonna drop off on the edge of this that's flush. So I wonder if I need to put 2 here? So that I have some place to push to the left to get the last spot? I got ahead of myself. And this one does give us a block, which is good. But I think it gave us this block, which is bad. If I end up with these two next to each other. Okay, let's try... this. I wonder... Oh, did I lock myself in? Sneaky. I wonder if I put both of these here. Can I push both at the same time? No, I'm not strong enough. Okay. Hi Lexi, how are you? Welcome in. Let's do... Then I feel like we have to do... I don't know. The mine's coming back every reset. Yeah. The ruins are okay. We made some progress today. I'm floundering on this puzzle a bit, but I think it'll be alright. I'm pushing this back. I feel like as long as I get this one out of the way, then it's okay to start working on this, because I don't want this one to drop to a spot where I can't get to it. You made progress, but you fell off things in a way that I will treasure. Thanks. I fell off so many things. But if I put a block right here... So we do need all 4 of them to fall out of here? Yeah. Okay, so this one will give us a block also. It should. Because I'm gonna have one that gets stuck on top of here. Oh, except I think I already ruined it. Maybe? This is weird. Stretch and screen break. Those are good. Those are good for the brain. I'm just gonna mess with this and see what happens. So like, I need this to be here so that when the block drops right here, I can jump on top of these and push it to the left. That's part of it. But the tricky part is, which 2 blocks do I use for this little tower? Because this one I think ends up being the one that we push to the left. I can do this, I believe. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay, I think it has to be this one. Oh man, this is annoying. I just have to have enough space between the one that drops and this one. So like... Oh, I think I already ruined it. Gosh darn it. It's fine. It's fine. Sometimes planning ahead works for my brain. Sometimes I just have to start pushing things and I'll get there eventually. The enemies, they're okay. At least I don't have to aim. No, I already forgot what I said. It's so annoying. Is that gonna block me from going around? No. Nope, don't push it to the right, Jen. I mean, you can for a moment, but then you'll go too far. Okay. Now I gotta be smart about this. I feel like the one by the entrance is gonna cause problems. This is gonna give us one of those. Push, push. I have to use one of these two for the top here. Oh no! Look, you all went through it. It's funny to me. It's fine. Except this one you can't push to the right. Let me just finish what I've got. Oh, even that. There's not enough room between. Okay, cool. I rescind my earlier comments. The puzzle is great. Yeah. I am figuring it out. I know what's going on. I didn't think I was gonna have to redo that first part again because I thought that was the main hang-up. And I told you I can't sit at it and like chess it out before I make moves. I have to do it this way. This is how I learn. And you know, there's someone in some YouTube comment in the universe going, oh my god, I can't believe she did this. It's like, no. This is La-Mulana. We're in this together. Block pushing puzzle should have an undo. Should have a reset. Yeah. It's not, like, I'm not too mad at this room for just those two enemies, but... Okay, but I do have to remember what I did here. I pushed this one first and just let it hang out there for a second. And then I did this one. Let me play puzzles how I want. Nah, it's fine. I'm getting better with YouTube comments and stuff like that. It's just part of the journey. It's part of the industry. I think it's definitely helping. I'm seeing like, I won't get into this too much. But to upload old playthroughs is a lot easier than to upload playthroughs I'm currently working on. And for people in really, really old playthroughs that are like, go here, do this, it's getting easier for me to be like, yeah, okay, that's backseating, but this was a very long time ago. Like, I either just leave them alone or I like the comment, because I'm like, yeah, they're enjoying the playthrough. Like, they're very clearly paying attention to the playthrough if they're trying to guide me, even if this is from a year ago. The sea mine enemies aren't bad compared to some of the others. Yeah. Everyone's brain does puzzle differently, absolutely. I could never be a streamer if someone tried to backseat. I'd snap so hard. Some people, I mean... And there's nothing wrong with setting your boundaries. Like, some people do. I won't even call it snapping. I think the hardest thing is it's so hard to gauge, like, if a viewer is brand new to Twitch or not. Because a lot of you that have been here for a long time, you read the panels, you read the tags, you know that backseating is generally not good etiquette if that's the first thing you do when you come into a stream. Like, at least get to feel out what the streamer is like first. But if somebody's brand new to Twitch, how will they know? And you just have to learn to be like, hi, welcome, hello. Let me tell you about my channel and how we run things here. It's okay. I was watching a funny 5-year-old stream where comments recently from someone who was mad. It is so wild. And that's why we have mods, and we love our mods. Certain games have a lot more tendency to... Oh, this is hard. Hang on, I gotta think. I can't do this puzzle and talk about this at the same time. Certain games have a lot higher tendency for someone to come in and their first chat message to be, do this. Immediately. And it is what it is. You have to have higher mod control for games like that. But for games like this, for games like Outer Wilds, for games like, oh, what's another good example? I can't think of one off the top of my head, but the audience is like, I don't want to mess with it. I want her to discover it on her own, and I love that. Thanks for the hydrate. Do so immediately. Thanks. That I will do. I appreciate the enthusiasm, but I'm working this out for myself. Yes. Exactly.
Yes.
Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Dark Souls, Undertale, Hollow Knight. Well, those are ones, yeah, that people generally come in and the first thing they do is go here, do this, use it this way. Or mechanics things. It's not spoilers, but they're like, you're swinging the nail wrong. You're targeting on the enemy wrong. I'm like, okay, I get that, but ask first. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna look it up anyway. Sometimes you have to look stuff up. I have to say everyone has different standards, which counts as backseat. And that's, they do, and it can be really confusing. So, I try to be clear about what I count and, like, tell people that. And if you're brand new to the chat or Twitch, I can't expect you to know right away. So, it's a balance of, like, setting boundaries, but also, I don't know. Letting people learn. Giving people a chance to learn. Okay, now why did I mess this up so bad? I do have to test this out, because otherwise I'll get it wrong every time. La-Mulana kind of falls outside of the look how much I know about this game. It does, yeah. There's so many silly comments we can't say because it's hard to not accidentally draw a hint. Yeah, exactly. By omission. And I used to get really like, oh my gosh, is that thing a hint on accident or is it not? Or am I overthinking it? I think I've mellowed out a little from when I started. Had to ban someone in ag streams as the first 3 comments were just backseating. Yep. Don't like when people tell me to use controls, my brain does it differently. Yeah, yep. Example, most people's mechanics from a game doesn't count and for others it's off limits. Yep, that's a really tough one. But I feel like no stream, if you want to err on the safe side, no streamer just wants to be told what to do. So you're always safe asking, do you want help with that mechanic? Now, if you come in a stream and the first thing you see is the streamer saying, hey, how do I do this? That's like a really tough situation, but that's why you have mods who are so talented at, maybe they delete the message and say, hey, you might not have meant this. I'm just gonna delete it just in case. We'll figure it out from there. Pro hints and spoilers generally, but you can't take them back, so you have to be thoughtful. Never comment about the game. I hate that that is, like, that's no fun either. Erring on the side of asking first is safe, yeah. Look at the tags. Yeah, look at the tags. But we're saying, like, some people define backseating differently. To me, demanding anything, whether it's in regards to the stream or the game, is backseating when it's like phrased as a go here, do this, turn left up there. Oh, you missed that. You didn't use your turn signal. Versus a question. Okay, I promise I'll do this. I'll promise. If this one... I don't want to start with the block on the top. The block second down here... I don't really want to release it because this isn't going to give me a block. But I could just get it out of the way. And then what's the problem? What did I run into last time? I already forgot. Oh, it was dropping this one and then pushing it here. I can only push it to the right. So don't push this one to the right because that one's already spoken for. And this one has to go here. So I think this one actually... Wait, hang on. We've got an empty up here, an empty up here. We've got one here, and we've got one here. And I think this one goes here. And this one goes here. And both of those don't block, they don't drop any blocks. So I have to deal with these two first, and they go here and here. Is this gonna block me from progressing if I fill that one? I think so. So I think I have to do this one first. Oh my god, this is stressful. I'm amazed how I never remember how the puzzle works, right? It's like way more intense than it feels like it's gonna be. I still probably messed it up. Why didn't you go look at the thing I know everything about? It's really hard to put yourself in someone else's shoes when you're watching a stream too. It's like this weird thing happens in your brain where whatever you know, you think is really obvious to the streamer. Like, how could they miss that? It's because you've already, it's just even, no matter how grounded you are, there's this like phenomenon that happens and you just have to learn to go, nope, it's happening and I know that I can fight it. Example, you asked about blue and green orbs, something I would consider backseat, but that is a huge problem. The topic, there are no general guidelines. Yeah, that's fair. Some people will argue with you, and they will say, that is not a backseat. How could you think that it was wrong of me to help you with that? You're way too sensitive. And I say, yeah, I am for your viewing preferences, and that is okay. Because I didn't want that help unless I asked. You were like that with Toem. Exactly. There's just something where you're like, it's obvious, but it's not until you know it. To be fair, answering explicitly asked questions is not backseating anymore, at least as long as people don't elaborate further. Yeah. Be worse at games than streamers, so I never have the memes. Oh my gosh. Emmy Kill, how's it going? I'm glad you're here. I love there's always gonna be somebody that's like, I have no idea what's going on, I can't help you, and I'm like, that's fine. Thanks for being here. Oh my god, if I had walked out right there. I think talking about all these streamer issues while solving the puzzle was a good idea, because it worked. We got a flare gun! Yay! I solved it! When a streamer very clearly asks, I still go, is this rhetorical? Yeah, sometimes. I have special rules here for the safe word thing. A lot of people do have the safe word rule too. I watch games I've already played because it's fun watching first experiences, definitely. I have a lot of admiration for the puzzle because this particular placement adds some unforeseen consequences. It's very well crafted. Like, you think after you get that first, or whatever corner of it you tackle, you're like, oh, okay, I figured that out. That was the puzzle. There's 7 blocks and I need all 7 of them. Cool. But then you learn that it's more complicated than that. What I find hard to know, you don't have that, is streamers talk loud and ask themselves, and how should I know this? Because they stream and I as the viewer have to assume. Yeah, the rhetorical question thing I try to be very clear about, and I've learned to be like, oh wait, don't answer that. But sometimes I forget and I'm like, sorry. I didn't mean to ask it in question form. I get it. Yeah. The lessons learned. Be patient with both viewers and streamers. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. You know, human stuff. Okay, this was the puzzle room. We came up here and there was like a door. This is the room I fell through before. Everybody has those days, yep. If every pork chop were perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs. La-Mulana does require a lot of patience. 2 weapons are kept in this land. I gotta write this down. Oh, and I gotta read the flare gun description. I got distracted. One lies beyond Pazuzu's guard. The other in Serdab of Light, which extends from the Pit of Flames. Why is this song so good? A lot of streamers assume they're alone. It's awkward for both sides. Often the streamer takes it extremely serious, even the person doesn't. It's tough. Just try to have empathy for the streamer, because streaming is really tough. And I hope that they have empathy for you in exchange. And it's not everybody's gonna do it the same way. Not every experience is gonna be a good experience, unfortunately. And that's okay too. It's why it feels really good when you do find a good match of like a place you want to hang out all the time, or, you know, an audience for a game that you're loving and the audience is loving it and you're like, yes, this is working so well. That's why that's so magical. And streaming, like, the longer you do it, the more situations you get exposed to. Also, I need to write down this wall seal is in here. Like, if you're growing really fast on Twitch, you're gonna be exposed to a ton of stuff, more so than somebody who is not growing as fast, or somebody who just started. So if you've been exposed to it before, you'll have an idea of what to do, but the first time you encounter a chat situation, every time you're like, I hope I handled that okay. Some people just have it naturally, like, it's like star power, you know? Okay, so this switch I did press, and it did in fact lift this door, but I couldn't tell because I fell too quickly. And now we get to read a lore tablet. Stick to the walls. Once the flames die down, kick off the walls and proceed. Oh, didn't we get a reminder for a break? We'll take a quick break again after I write this, and maybe we'll go save and heal, depending on what my health is at. Had to ban a person because I don't like something they said to me. It felt so off. Yeah, and there's a level of, like, personal comfort that sometimes you just are like, nope, I don't know, I'm sorry, but that wasn't it. I'm too old to understand what people get out of streamers with thousands of chatters going wild. It really depends. I don't know. There's a benefit to all different types of streams and audiences. There's a lot to be— oh man, we're getting so far off topic. 1 second. Let me write this down. Once the flames die down, kick off the walls and proceed. Okay. This music has me feeling things. I'm motivated. We have lots of chatting time on Friday with community night to talk about this more as well. But for now, let's try to wrap up with La-Mulana chats. I do actually feel like I'm a little dead-ended here. Stick to the walls. Oh, I wonder if that hint has to do with the room I already uncovered. Once the flames die down, kick off the walls and proceed. Like, once I get through this tunnel with all the flames, I did kick off the wall. I broke the wall, but I don't know. That might not be it either. The Yoshi is really cute, yeah. Can I crush an enemy with a block? No. I just made it harder for myself to go to the next room. Oh, I am kind of— oh, I can jump down, though. Let's jump down and be brave. This is here. There's like a rock up at the top of the room blocking a door, it looks like. And there's a switch in the upper right. And there's a broken lore tablet. I'm also getting a little cold. Oh. Wonderful. No, wait. I don't know if I can survive it. Oh my god, we have to warp out. We have to leave. We have to leave here. I chickened out. I did jump down bravely and fell into a pit of lava, and then I went to the right. And I don't know, I see a staircase in this room. But I only have 9 health. Straight into the fire. Look, I'm not ashamed. We did a lot. It's time to come home. Better than dying. I wouldn't have wanted to do all of that. I would have had to do the puzzle again. And I still need to read about the flare gun. Okay, it's time to stop being distracted. Shoot fireballs straight above after filling the tube with gunpowder. Fun. I was internally screaming. No, I wasn't ready to back out yet. But we made it safely. Is there a quick way to the Inferno? No. I hate walking there. And I miss the mausoleum music. We haven't been to the mausoleum at all today. Please let me survive this. Oh, I finally got up here. Finally. Revealed that it was, in fact, nothing. But at least I ruled it out. You didn't miss a death, you missed a panic warping back to... Oh no. Back to the start. You're good. You didn't miss it. Oh. And we got a clue about some walls. Can stand on your shoulders. That's nice. Oh, it wasn't, the fire wasn't gone yet. Is this new? Oh, I drew it, but I never went up here. Okay. There's another ladder here. And a chest. And a lore tablet. And some statues, some creepy looking statues. Down to 7. It was 9. It was 9. It's fine. Oh. I thought I was far enough away from it. The hitbox on the flames. My laptop fried from heat. Okay, well, we did that. I think this thing is gonna shoot lasers eventually. When the snakes are enraged, it shall open. Okay. Does this go back into the labyrinth? Look, that's a labyrinth symbol. I don't need to draw a ladder. I just need to draw the little entryway symbol. I recognize that. I don't really want to enter there right now, but I also don't think that I have a lot more that I want to explore in Inferno. You take so many shurikens. I angered the snakes. I want to get a closer look. I was thinking, how did we get on that topic anyway? But it was because we were talking about backseating and hints and stuff. So, yeah, full circle. Or I guess long convo. But it was all because of La-Mulana. In the older version, needed to get the computer in order to teleport. Oh, interesting. That's exciting. Also, terrifying. Ugh. No. 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 Oh my god. How many times can I just shout no? Okay, I think they're enraged. Enrage! Yes. Yes! Oh my god. With 94 health to spare. I'm glad I didn't leave this room yet. I love the map so much. This is called Twins Footstool. It'd be cool if you couldn't teleport without a map or something. If they kept that aspect in it. I'm gonna go for a bit, go watch a movie, enjoy the movie. I enjoyed hanging too. Happy Sunday. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here for now. Twins Footstool. How fitting that it's right underneath Twins Labyrinth. I do wonder if it looks different when I pop out there, but oh, this room's terrible now. Let's just fall. Let's label some more rooms first before I leave. I want to know who this statue is. So let's go to the right and see if it'll tell me. Statue of the Giant. Isn't there a giant that's doing this symbol? Don't tell me that. Don't answer that. Zebu is like holding up the world. I'll have to look into that. Immediately I was like, wait, I did the thing that we just talked about. I asked a question. It's okay. But giants, we know a lot about giants. I probably should have made those further apart. Oh my god. Reckless. Oh, and so is this. Both of these. Okay. Let's see if it'll tell me which giant. The ruins. It's a giant. Thanks again, La-Mulana. This room, I don't know. I'll have to look at my notes. If we have a clue somewhere already yet about heat protection. Like, they gave us those clues about the scale sphere, but I don't think we have a heat protection clue. Oh, that's horrifying. Okay. Looking for a map, see that you have now. Oh, this isn't a good place for the legend. That's what you're saying, Grabix? That's fair. I do have an eraser for colored pencils. I'll probably just have to redraw it. Oh yeah, no, it should be okay. Just this part right here I can move. No, it's not okay. But this set of rooms will be fine. I always forget because I start to draw and then the second I get the map I'm like, oh, room names. But also, like, it gives me the full outline. It's these two rooms right here that are in trouble. 2 a.m. That's a hard cap for me. Absolutely, Petrie. Thanks for hanging out. Sleep well. Get some good rest. I'll catch you in the VOD. We're at like 5 hours. We won't go too much longer. I do feel like that was a clue about that room that we already found. And I haven't used the flare yet. I'm curious what it looks like to use it. And this was not a shop, no. Or was it? I already forgot. No, this is the weapons thing. 2 weapons are kept in this land. One lies beyond Pazuzu's guard, the other in Serdab of Light, which extends from the Pit of Flames. This is Pit of Fire. So then I should have put it over here. Here. I've got too many colored pencils hanging out on my desk. Okay. What was above this? Also Pit of Fire. I wonder if this whole falling section will be Pit of Fire. Yes. And then I want to go look at the block puzzle room. Ugh. And this is oh. Which I found. Which extends from the Pit of Flames. Pit of Fire. Okay, so we found the one weapon. Check. Got it. I'm not gonna give this one a color. Oh, this is a hidden room. This isn't even... That's not on the map. There's this corner, then there's these two, then there's these four. Yeah, it is this one, but it's like separate. Weird. Do you want a definition of Serdab since I googled it and it's quite cool? Sure. I'm down. Thanks for asking. Literally meaning cold water, which became a loan word in Arabic for cellar, is ancient Egyptian tomb structure. Huh. Cool. Thank you. And we found flares inside. Can I jump up this way? Bull Pie, welcome in. I found you absolute random by clicking La-Mulana. No backseating and notebook cam have me hooked. As a massive fan, can't stick around, but I hope you catch these on YouTube. Thank you. Hope you enjoy the experience and don't give up. Take breaks. Absolutely. If you hit a brick wall, secret to getting unstuck is to take a break. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. These won't be on YouTube for a little bit, but there's going to be a highlight of everything in the videos tab of Twitch, so if you want to watch them there. Thanks for hanging out. We're meeting all the La-Mulana fans. It's a very delicate and floral way to describe your cellar if it's damp. Yeah, very appealing way of describing a cellar. We're often walled off. Just like this. Just like this one. I don't know why I'm trying to break this. I feel like if I break that, the lava's gonna come out. Ugh. Forever on fire. It's a struggle. La-Mulana fans see notes and their eyes get wide. So many notes. I'm gonna have to catch up a bunch after stream of... Oh, Interior Chamber. I feel like we've seen that before. But I think it was just outside of the Inferno, like Isis Interior Chamber or Inferno Cavern Interior Chamber. Anterior. I know I read anterior and then I said interior. I don't know where it is right off the top of my head. Oh yeah, Isis anterior chamber. It's the room right in front of the Inferno. It's in Sun Temple. Okay. What was I saying? I have to write a bunch of stuff into the digital notes after stream. Have I used green yet? No. Let's use green. This is wild to me that I am enjoying this so much because the last game we played where I feel like I should have taken lots of decoder notes. Actually, no. I'm not even gonna say that. There are two puzzle games that come to mind where I did take a lot of notes, but there was a certain point in the game where I was like, I don't want to decipher that. Like, language, like letter for letter deciphering. And for whatever reason, I just wasn't that into it. But map drawing I'll always be into. It's a different kind of... I like the spatial puzzle. And, like, there's different symbols that you see recurring a lot in this game, but it's not fully spelling out words. At least not yet. Don't spoil it if it is, but, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I love games about understanding how spaces are put together. Yes. Sounds very Tunic and I'm fully the same. I was so sad because Reddit was loving the challenge and I did not. Wait, I always do this. I do the color and I forget to put it over here, or I color this and forget to make the corresponding color, but it's this right here. We have 72 health. Should we jump into the lava pit again? I don't want to move this key. Let me at least draw in the first outline and see just how bad it is. Actually, I think it's gonna be fine, because I don't even think the colors are in the way. I just think the pencil text was in the way. Statue... Wait, what did it say? Statue of the Giant. If this is also a bad place for the map legend, speak now. Giant. And there's our stretch break, but we already took it. But if you need to stretch or take a screen break, feel free. I'm just gonna be moving my map key for a moment. Twins footstool. Okay, these are just a cute little decoration in the corner. Here's these two rooms that I haven't been to yet. But now they have room to spread their wings. This is also anterior chamber. So this is gonna end up going down here. Here, 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 here. Okay, we should have room for everything. No, stop putting me on fire!
Human beings, it turns out, are weird.
Cypherin, thank you for 2 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back to the human race. Enjoy your Earth badge, your emotes, your ad-free viewing. We're so glad to have you. You got your first Earth with a smile. 1 month is just the plain blue and green. 2 months, you get a smiley face. Loving the chill vibes of your stream. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Oh, and we've enraged the snake. Chill vibes, except we enraged the snake. All I've needed to do in the last hour of crochet is remember the number 23, and each time I get to 20, I have no idea. Storage, you had 1 job. How's the crochet coming along, besides counting to 23? Map time. Hi, Chozo. Welcome in. Look at this. Look at this. Pages and pages of maps. This is the most elaborate thing I may have ever made on stream. If you all were with us for the channel last year in like the spring, I did these map challenges where I had to fill in. One of them was I drew a map of the United States from memory. That was a joy. I had to fill in a map of Europe and label all the countries from memory. That was a joy. And then we did Africa, I think. Did we do Africa? We might have skipped Africa. I was gonna do it. And then I did a quiz of it on, I can't remember the website, Sporkle. And then we did Central America and we did Canadian provinces. And then I ran out of things to make maps of, so we stopped doing the challenges. Oh, we didn't do Asia. Why not? Let's do Asia. We haven't had a channel point challenge in a while either. Had to get more yarn. I have an awful feeling it might end up much bigger than I expected. That's a bad thing. Promoted you in a chill vibe community. Thank you, Grabix. I appreciate it. If we see them here, I hope they tell me that you sent them. Loved doing those when I was playing Mud. What's a Mud? All I can think of is, what is it, Henry Mudd from Star Trek. Harry Mudd? Henry Mudd? Mud. Oh my god. I wasn't expecting that to work, and then I pressed forward. We're at 11. We're at 11? No, we're at 0. It happened so fast. That's why you all were, like, freaking out. Wait, didn't I? Oh, this is a quick save. Okay. So on that journey, I labeled a lot, but I found less. But I need to go back and get this again, which was the map. And then after getting the map, I think it was just a matter of like going down this path again. I love that trapdoor. That was unkind, but it is the nature of the game. Lava is lethal, yes. Yes, I know. I was caging expectations off of the poison water, which you're like supposed to swim through a little bit, but I get it. Multi-user dungeon. The original MMO, they're text-based, they have heavily rely on... Oh, okay, yeah. I think I know what that is. Memorization and drawing grid maps. There's like a famous one that I think my dad played. And he's told me about all of the... Oh! All the maps they drew on printer paper. Oh my god. Stressful. This game is a little bit stressful today. Bring it back to chill vibes, Jen. Stay calm. Oh, rip. I always forget when those enemies disappear. It doesn't mean... I can't believe those were breakable the whole time. Those boulders, I thought they were just immobile. They didn't strike me as like vases that I could break open. Like Zork? I don't know. I don't know what it was called. Forgotten the maps I drew for text adventures. I was so bad at them. There was one in Polish. Deku, the one I played with Star Wars named Mud called Legends of the Jedi. I don't know, I'll have to ask him. Money! We never get money. I mean, we do, but I always mess up with the really big... Oh my god, with the big chests. Got too excited about the money. Okay, I've enraged one. Now I gotta go enrage the other one. Enrage! I'm gonna read that again. Just so it doesn't light up red. No! No! It's slapstick. It's slapstick. It's fine. Remember, Jen? It's totally fine and funny. Oops. Okay, we got our map back. Enrage. Engage. As long as I don't have to do that other puzzle again, it's fine. Aw, what? Thought I timed that better. I want that orb. We're getting closer to a refill, but not really that close. I cannot figure out the hitboxes on these piles of fire. You can crush enemies with blocks, yay! Chest stayed open? Oh, when I fell below? Yeah. Make it so. Okay, this is where things start to get spicy. Oh my god, literally spicy. Because we can fall here. This is also anterior chamber. I already have this... No, I don't have this marked? Do I have this marked? That's what the green is. Okay. We're 95 health. Oh god, I panicked, I panicked. No. At the bottom of this land lies the darkness that leads to death. Great! Oh, darkness. That... Why do I always run out of space? Leads to death. I'm now taking up a whole nother line just for 3 words. It's absolutely not ominous. La-Mulana greeting card company folded incredibly quickly. Okay. Can I make it to the next room? I don't know. Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. Oh, there's a ladder there too? Treasury of Ice. This deserves purple. Or blue. This is like periwinkle blue. But I gotta remember to death warp this time, because we got so much money. And I don't want to get that map again. Welcome to La-Mulana. Welcome to La-Mulana. What grid size did you use? I have no idea. It's from the dollar store. Let me look at the cover. This one. 80 sheets, graph ruled, white. Oh no, it's from Walmart. My bad. I said it was from the dollar store. It's from Walmart. 8.5 by 11.75 inches. 21.6 by 29.8 centimeters. It doesn't say. And I couldn't guess. This is it. I'm not handing this software over to anybody. Nobody will know I've hid it in a place like this. Hidden software? What do I even use to mark that? Okay, there's no rooms under this according to the map, so I'm gonna write hidden software. Question mark? Just curious. I will get a ruler after stream. I don't know. I don't have a preference. I just got a cheap bit of it. Oh my goodness. Hall of Worship. I will worship the save tablet. This better not be a trap. Have I been in this room yet? No. Why not? Maybe I messed up my map? I don't think so. It's possible. Look at that cool... There's another statue of the giant in the background. If this is a trap. Ayanta or Ajanta Caves? I'm literally out of room today. Ahanta? Resembles the stupa of India's Ayanta Caves. Centerpiece is statue of a goddess with snake body. Fascinating. This is a trap. I have to go so careful. Come on, I want to be able to warp down here. It's gonna be awesome. Behold, the Inferno Cavern. It was once the source of strength. Okay. What else can I do to, like, wrap up what we found? I mean, there's so much still to do, but I think that's a pretty good place. I want to keep going. We're streaming again tomorrow, and by we, I mean me. I'll be doing more La-Mulana tomorrow, so happy to do back-to-back. I can't make it! Oh my god, 6? You gotta be kidding me. We did just save. Actually, I should probably just get the health back. I want to know what's up that staircase. But why does this drop you into the lava? That's so mean. Like, what's even the point? Just get the health back. Oh, I wonder if I'm supposed to do that controlled jump thing that I learned from getting into this place in the first place. Or jump to the right instead. Also an option. Oh, I wonder if the software is in that boulder. I have so many questions. This room is interior chamber, which I've been here before, but not in this part. Cloak made from ice! There's our clue! I'm out of room. I'm gonna write it on here. I'm gonna transfer all this in a minute. And I'm gonna get you. I'm not gonna break that boulder. These are the labyrinth. Oh my god. Creatures. We've fought these little blobs before. Ooh. 150. Okay, so I got this switch, so now we have access to this door. Here's the ladder. Here are shop notes. I should have written some of this stuff just on the map pages anyway. It's helpful. Software. Space Capster 2? Another game. Some spears, it looks like. And weights, but we've got 12. Okay. Alright. I think I'm good. I wanted to know what was in there. We got the save tablet. We got the warp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... plus either the labyrinth or the corridor. Plus the labyrinth and the corridor, because this is 7 with the village, and I don't think the village is one of the 8 regions or whatever. I could be wrong. Anyway, let's just go. I'm proud of myself. We did a lot today. I need to organize the paper notes. They're getting out of hand. I probably should have just used this page. It's fine. We did all this. We did all this. There's still so many puzzles, though, that I have no idea what to do. Map recap. A whole new field, Grail tablet and all. This is my terrible Twin Labyrinths map. Oh, I did say I was gonna try to enter the Twin Labyrinths from that other door. I will. And here's Endless Corridor map. Erase this, because I'm not gonna put this on here. Wow. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the nudge.